Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about Milk Hydro Grip Primer and how to use it to achieve beautiful, smooth base for your makeup. Before we get into the video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and put thumbs up if you liked it. Now let's get into the video. So before I tell you how to use this Milk Hydro Grip Primer so that it works, I want to tell you that I was one of those people who hated this primer. I just hate this one. So when this primer got so popular in the internet, I went ahead and bought the small travel size one. So first time I applied this one, I put my foundation on and I felt like my foundation was rolling on my cheeks and it laid so patchy on the skin, absolutely not beautiful, and I had to get my makeup off, use another primer. I just couldn't use this one. But then I tried second time, I tried third time, and I had the same result. The foundation laid on the skin very patchy, so I thought that this was a gimmicky primer and I just don't want to use that one. And at that time it was almost fall and I was frustrated because I really wanted to love this primer because other people were raving about this primer, that it's so good. It was sticky, tacky, which is supposed to help foundation last on the skin and makeup overall. But one time I saw a video on YouTube with the recommendation to try to use less amount of this product. So after that it should work. And so I thought maybe I did something wrong and I put too much of a primer. And so I tried to put less primer on my skin and hallelujah, that worked. So the main secret and advice with this primer is to use just a little bit, not too much. And after I've learned that you have to use a little bit of this spread all over your face, like a very thin layer, I fell in love with this. So you can see that I've used it all the way down and now I have the full size because I really love it. This primer is so good. And the amount of this primer you should use is almost like a half of your nail, this much. So this way you will not run out of this primer too fast, and this way you will have a beautiful, smooth application of the foundation and other layers. So I use a little bit less of a full pump. So you can measure this way the amount of this primer, and now I will show you the amount of primer I used to use when this primer didn't work for me and the amount of primer that I've seen other girls use, and I think that's why they tell that this primer doesn't work. So my face is small and a little bit less than a full pump is just perfect amount for my face. So this is the only secret and advice I can give you, is to use less than you did it last time. And so I hope that some of you who still have this primer will use it again. Now that I know the proper way to use this primer, I am in love with this primer. This is my favorite one. I used to use Sisley double tensor primer. That one was a little bit thin of a consistency compared to the Milk one, and I really love that primer because this was my first primer with a tacky texture, and I realized that those kind of primers are the ones that really prolongs the wear of your makeup, the longevity of your makeup. And this primer is even thicker than Sisley one. But compared to Sisley, this one is the best primer because it costs less and it works really good. Absolutely not worse than the Sisley one, because Sisley was my favorite primer before I discovered this one. Now I use this primer all of the time, and I don't really see the need to use another primer because this one works so good. Although I do have another Milk primer, which is, this one is Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer, which I wanted to use for my T-zone area, but I really love the Milk Hydro Grip one. So you can see that the makeup application over this primer is consistent, smooth. My foundation doesn't roll on the skin. There are no patches, and this primer combined with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray is a match made in heaven. It feels like with the Hydro Grip primer and Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, it feels like all these layers are like whoop, like this, they become one, and this is my favorite combination as of right now. So with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, I love that my skin feels moisturized. I feel like this primer locks all the moisture I have in my skin. Because of the tackiness of this texture, foundation sticks to the primer, and this way you are getting very smooth, beautiful finish. So I've become a huge fan of Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Now I love my makeup even more than before. I feel like the skin prep is very important, but I like my makeup result with Milk Hydro Grip Primer even more. I wouldn't say that without this primer it looks worse, of course not, it looks very beautiful, but this primer really prolongs the wear time of the makeup. So this was my short video on how to use Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I really hope that after my advice you will fall in love with this primer because it's really good. So for those of you who haven't tried Milk Hydro Grip Primer and is looking for a new primer, maybe you should try this one. But for those of you who put this primer on the shelf, you will give it another life. I really believe that if you struggle with this primer and you don't love it at all, I think that there is one thing, if you change it, you will love it. I want to thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Put thumbs up if you liked it, and see you in my next one.